Here's your boy, back at it again with another rant video. I don't know how to do it anymore. Maybe, I'm not sure if I ever did do it to be able to say I don't know how to do it anymore, but I just don't get it. Right now, I just don't feel anything. I feel dead. I feel sad, but I know there's a numbness. I know that, like, if I actually start feeling the sadness, I won't be able to recover fully enough in time before I have to restart all of this all over again. But I'm going to take a step back for a second and set things up. So people sometimes show this thing, right? 24 hours a day, 8 hours of work. I should be sleeping 8 hours a day, and that leaves me with 8 hours for fun time, me time, recreational time. But I don't get it. I mean, I don't understand it, but I also just, I don't feel like I have those 8 hours at all. Like, that's a myth. It's impossible. Those rules do not apply for me. It feels like I have a new job. It's 8:30 to 5:30. That's 9 hours a day, not 8 hours. I probably undersold myself, but that's neither here nor there right now. 8:30 to 5:30. That's 9 hours a day. Okay. I 100% definitely get 8 hours of sleep every single day. Definitely. So that means I have 7 hours left to myself, right? Recreational time, me time, fun time, right? Except we haven't found teleportation yet. So I can't just come back home in a snap, and my commute takes me like an hour, or if I'm very unlucky, an hour and a half. Yeah, but let's take it at its best. Let's say 1 hour each way. I definitely sleep well still, so no amount from my sleep is decreasing. So that 7 hours of free time just became 5 hours of free time. My god. And God forbid I have anything to do outside, because I don't know if this happens to you guys either, but like whenever I have something to do outside, some sort of detour that comes up, going to the market to simply buy something, whatever it is, before coming home, even though it might just be a 10 minutes going to the store, buying the thing and coming back, somehow from my commute, that 10 minutes somehow magically inflates and becomes half an hour, god forbid even 1 hour. I don't know what to do about that. It magically, cursedly, what's the opposite of magic? Curse? I don't know. It just inflates and becomes a huge amount of time out of nowhere. Does anyone else experience that? Feel that? So I just have to come back home immediately, and I can't spend any time outside. Not like I want to anyway, because I'm so tired after work. And I don't have any time to myself, but, you know, it's all a perpetual cycle, right? Okay, so I come back from home. I come back from work. I'm tired. I come back from work. I need to eat. I still need to eat. And let's not assume I'm super duper awesome and I have I definitely sleep 8 hours a day, and I definitely have pre-prepared foods that I prepared in advance, so I don't have to worry about it after coming work. So I have food that I immediately throw into the microwave and make and like eat real quick, super duper fast. We still don't have a dishwasher. Maybe at some point in time we're going to get a dishwasher, but we still don't have a dishwasher. And the dishes, in college, I used to do a lot of dishes. Like, I never wanted to disturb my roommate. I always wanted to be, like, out of the way or whatever. So I always did my dishes and got them dealt with. And also, I just have trust issues generally, so I prefer to do my own dishes. So I have a lot of experience with that, but goddamn does it take a lot of time. And it takes a lot more time, I've been feeling, now that I'm out of college and, like, actually working now. And not having a dishwasher, I have a tray that, like, I put the dishes to dry on. There are so many dishes that pile up sometimes that there isn't even room left on the tray. And so, like, I need to do a batch of dishes, and then it's on the tray waiting to dry, drip out. So, and then, like, after, like, half an hour, 1 hour, then I can go back, put all of the dried dishes where they're supposed to be, and then do the next batch, next few things of dishes. And then, like, that over again. And dude, it takes so long. It takes upwards to 40 minutes sometimes doing the dishes by hand. Dude, that's so much wasted water too, god. And, oh my god. Again, I thought I was okay with this, like, doing all of this stuff during college, but in working life, it really hits you harder, and I don't know if I can frickin' do it anymore. But anyway, we're talking about like how much time I have left in the day. So I have 5 hours left in the day. I immediately eat food super duper quick. It isn't even 15 minutes, right? I have pre-prepared food that I definitely don't work to make over again, that I definitely don't work to make when I come back home. Eat it quickly, and then I have a bunch of dishes to do. So I do dishes, which it takes like 20 to 30 minutes. And then something else that I've been noticing, there's a lot more laundry that I have to do. I swear, I've been noticing, dude, being a home taker, being a stay-at-home mom or whatever, that's a full-time job. Like, you need to be actually paid for this stuff. Taking care of a house actually takes a lot of time and effort. So like, you do the laundry, maybe it's one load, maybe it's two. It takes like 40 minutes for the machine to do it or whatever. You can do whatever during that time, but then like you go one by one, putting it on the, I don't have a dryer, we don't have a dryer. You put it on the clothes rack. That takes like another half hour or whatever. Like another thing I've been noticing is that like today, for example, I'm at the end of my day, probably because I'm like actually going to try and sleep early today. But like today we did have a detour. I came back at 7:30. My God. Came back at 7:30 and I ate food, watched an episode of South Park, which is 20 minutes, right? And then I blinked and now it's like 10:30. I don't know where that time goes. Like, I feel, oh wow, it's just 7:30 or whatever. I have so much time left. Oh wow. Like, I feel sometimes, maybe I do have enough time in the day to do the things that I really like. But then I try to, then like, I blink and immediately it's bedtime. And so, you know what else happens too? I'm sure there's a big part of people having poor sleep hygiene, poor use of their phones in their bed. You have so little time to yourself. You don't want to end the day. You know, you're in the stages of denial. You're in the stages of grief, and you're in this denial stage, and you're in bed looking at your phone, not wanting to finish the day. You know what I mean? And so you just end up sleeping later and become more tired for the next day. And I don't know. I'm not here to give solutions, really. I'm not here to ask for solutions. I'm just here complaining, man. I don't know how to do this. This modern life, this working life, this adult life. I don't know. It's so tiring. And you know, I still have more to complain about. For so many years, half a decade at least, something I've been thinking of, dreaming of, is that once I finally have work, get a job, have enough money for myself, I will be able to actually pay for therapy to deal with all of the problems that I've had as a child. But now, one, I realize I don't have that money. There's 0% chance I can ever have the kind of money I need for therapy. That actually kind of hurts a lot right now. And on top of that, like, this modern life and working schedule, something else I noticed, like, I was prepared, for example, I understand it hurts. It's a lot more tiring in adult life than college life, but like, I was used to doing the laundry, used to doing the dishes while I was in college. But what I was not prepared for becoming an adult was that my schedules overlap with all of the other important schedules in life. I need to go to the doctor. When am I exactly going to the doctor when both of us have the same time schedule? Is my only solution to go to the emergency room? Because like, the actual doctor closes. He has the same like 9 to 5 as me. He's not on when I'm off. Same at the bank. There's like banking problems at the place I work right now, and like, we need to go and deal with it. Luckily, they want us to deal with it, so they give us time. But like, if there's any sort of problem I need to deal with, I can't go to the bank and have my problem dealt with. The banks everywhere is 9 to 5. Same with like post offices too, 9 to 5. At what point am I actually going to like deal with adult problems in my life? I need to take time off from my work. That's insanely costly. I don't even have like, either I have to get on my knees and beg, oh please, I have this important thing to do, or somehow the stars are going to align and there's going to be some sort of, like, for example, we bought a fridge, right? We bought a fridge, a bigger fridge, because we had like a mini fridge. We bought a bigger fridge, an actual fridge, And like the delivery, we can't schedule the delivery. So my girlfriend has to, luckily we have to schedule it for one of my girlfriend's half days. Luckily my girlfriend has like a half day, and we had to schedule it for that day. If she didn't have that time frame, we just can't do this stuff. The delivery, they don't work be outside of our time frame. I'm just sort of wondering, confused at like how any of this stuff is work. Doctor, bank, more important, like bigger, I mean, just one thing, like Amazon or whatever can leave the smaller packages right in front of the door. It can probably will get stolen at some point, but like bigger stuff, we buy a fridge. What is that going to do? Somebody needs to be there. I don't get any of this. Anyway, I was saying like I was hoping to like go to therapy, but I don't have the money for that in adult life, and I also don't have the time or the timing for that. And like that was a big thing I was hoping to do. And you know, like I was saying, on paper it looks like I have 5 hours to myself. Listen to what I'm saying, to myself. But I guess it is like the household chores or whatever is benefiting me in a way, but like that's stuff you need to do. It's not fun, it's not recreational, but like, you know, 5 hours to do responsibilities and then blink of an eye and you have to end it all and you have to go to bed immediately too. You know, therapy is one thing, but like another thing too is, you know, as I was saying a moment ago, sometimes I look and like it's 7:30. Oh wow, there's a lot of time left in the day. Low 3-4 hours. I could do a lot in that time frame, for example, and like a blink and immediately it's bedtime. I think I can do something. My dream, this YouTube stuff here, but I'm so drained and so exhausted at the end of the day, and like I can barely even do this. And that is incredibly saddening. I had this idea for so long and I can't do the therapy. That's whatever, I suppose. I can just live with all the problems I have. I've lived with them so far, haven't I? I can continue to do with that, but not even being able to do this, that's incredibly disheartening. And I feel like all of this sort of serves the whole same, like all of this is a cycle, and the cycle is being perpetuated by the system, and everything is serving the system itself. Like at the end of the day, I'm so tired that I can't do anything I want to. I can't be happy. I'm just so tired and drained. Like I said before, I'm sad, but I can't even be sad because I know I'm going to crumble and it's going to be hard for me to recover and I won't be able to go to work, and like that's going to affect me and I can't lose my job or whatever, right? So I need to just suck it up. I need to numb it, not think about it. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this adult stuff. Adulting, right? r/adulting. I don't know how to do this stuff. And another thing I was going to say, I remember, I got this new job, right? I signed a contract. I realized, how am I going to look for a job when everyone who's hiring is also working in the same time frame? I realized, like, I can be called because of my posts on LinkedIn. Not posts. Like, I can be called because of my resumes on LinkedIn or whatever. They can call me. Like, recruiters can call me or whatever. But then, how am I going to go to a face-to-face interview when I'm working nearly every single day in the week? And like any day I'm off, they're also like, when I'm off, my employer, my potential employer, the person who wants to hire me is also off. You know, just like the bank. Like bank, doctor, post office, actual other jobs too. They're closed whenever I'm whenever I'm off too. So does that mean I'm just stuck into the job I'm already in? And so like it's a perpetual cycle. You know, either I have to be jobless, unemployed for like a month or a few months at the end of my contract, or when my contract finishes, I need to immediately re-sign my contract and do another 10 or 12 years to months at the end of my contract, so that like I can not be jobless and actually have a wage at the end. None of it doesn't make sense. Really, very much really, they, just like taxes, they should have taught us taxes in high school or whatever. Similar to that, we needed to have like classes in school. Unironically, how to do laundry, how to iron clothes, how to fold clothes properly or whatever. More so iron, I guess. How to cook, bake, balance financial stuff or whatever. All of these important things needed to be taught. And instead, like, instead, you just do high school, you do college again, delay becoming an adult, and then like slowly or like immediately, before you know it, you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Except instead of going to school the entire day, you're going to work the entire day. And like, it's a whole, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just here to rant. I don't know how I can feel better about any of this, because again, I wanted to do therapy for hopefully bettering myself, not feeling like crap about certain things, but that can't happen, whatever, I suppose. But I really want to do this, but work is so draining. You know, there's this other joke too, right? Boss makes $1, I make a dime, that's why I poop on company time. Or like minimum wage, minimum effort. And you know, I've heard people say you don't live for your job, you work at your job so that you can live in the outside 8 remaining hours of your life. But like, for one, I don't have 8 hours left of my life. I have 7. Okay, sure, fuck it. I have a commute, but like, let's not count that. I have 7, okay? I can try not to be invested into my work, not to let it get to me, but I'm still super tired at the end of the day and everything's just exhausting. Man, there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about too and rant about too, but that would make it a lot longer. Maybe another rants, I suppose. I understand it's a cycle. I guess I understand it's a cycle. If you start feeling bad and don't push back against it at all, you're going to continue slowly snowball and slowly feel bad. And if you slowly, it's going to be a struggle, rolling a ball uphill. But if you slowly make things better, it will slowly get better, I guess. I suppose that's right, isn't it? I could do that, but yeah, I mostly want to complain. I'm quite upset about all of this. Man, what is your dream job? Man, I don't dream about working. You know, I don't dream of capital. I don't dream of putting my labor in to be able to afford work. It's frankly insulting that, you know, human beings, I think this is a gross idea that like human beings need to give effort in order to have value, right? Like, unless you do some sort of work, you don't get money, and if you don't have money, you don't live, basically, right? Unless you have an affluent family. But yeah, I don't like that whole principle, but I understand what kind of world we're living in, and like, that's the situation we're in. I dream of a well-balanced, well-done UBI, but that's not the topic of this video. But thank you guys for listening to me. I just had to get that off my chest. This has been a while coming, frankly, but again, I've been so tired to actually talk. Not even, you know, even talk. I talk so much during my entire day, and so at the end of the day, I'm so drained. But yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching. If you have anything to say, please, I'm open to hear it. But yeah, I just want to complain a bit. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye, everyone.